How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Dude, how are we in like quarantine and you still have like bruises on your face? What are you doing?
I was wondering if anyone was going to notice that because it's almost healed. Yeah, so May 1st, we had some garage training.
Okay, nice.
Just me and the gal Valster.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, that look
As
makes
you can
sense with the
see, it didn't
bruises.
go
Yeah.
well. He
So
still got.
is this you two right now or a couple other people or
No, I just go to. It's very small. It's like
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like man, it's like not even two or three mat pieces. And but I've been going over there and using his garage to work out with the weights. And one day he came out, he started talking shit, and I threw down the mats. I was like, "Let's go right now."
And that you regretted that at all?
No, it was wonderful, but
It was good.
let me tell you, Johnny, doesn't matter how much you run or how much home exercise you do.
Oh no.
Jiu-jitsu cardio is jiu-jitsu cardio, man. It's like
I
it doesn't
know.
matter.
I know. I haven't wanted to believe that. I haven't wanted to think about that, but I understand. Like I've been on the row machine a ton during this time, and I'm like, okay, my cardio is gonna be good. But I know as soon as I have like that first super hard round, it's not gonna be the same
It
for
doesn't
sure.
matter, man. You still feel like death within about 1 minute.
Yeah,
And you
but
know
I'm,
what I
I'm sure.
noticed? You know what this happened? Man, I noticed my skin is soft.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
does it feel weird? Like I was gonna ask you this later on, but I'm thinking like I know how hard you train and how your guys train there. Does it feel weird actually overall feeling like healthy? Kind of like, and
Yeah.
you kind of soften up a little bit,
The
So
body
yeah,
is healed, but the body is soft.
I know.
The fingers are soft. Look at that.
Yeah, I
All my
know.
fingers got shredded.
My from that one time, yeah, my hands are like they feel as good as they felt in years. It's strange. It's a strange feeling.
All the face skin is soft. Like it used to be hard and calloused, and now
Yeah.
it's just soft. And it just, man, dude, I'm saying we did like 3 5-minute rounds,
Oh,
and
that was
I just,
yeah.
bro, I wanted to vomit.
Well, I'm
Granted, his
sure it's with
Galvao, and
him. Yeah.
it's difficult to train with him no matter what. Like it's not going to be easy no matter what. But I mean, the man he's still got it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. I can run like 8 miles right now. I'm a terrible runner. Terrible. I hate running.
Yeah.
And it's just been the only thing I've been able to do. And it's, we got good weather and I have a nice neighborhood to run around, but it didn't do anything for me. Like I still had a massive headache. Like my head was throbbing. I felt nauseous. Like probably because I didn't warm up at all. I went from like 0 to 100, but
That might have done it. But yeah. And with
it's
Andre,
all
yeah,
that,
I
it's all
can't
that the pent up energy, it
yeah.
just came rushing out of me.
I trained not too long ago. I have mats in my apartment here, and me and my roommate we train together sometimes. We're kind of like at wits end with each other, so I need to figure out something else.
You
We've been getting into fights, so we can't really
got to
train
squash the
anymore.
beef.
Yeah. I know, because I need him. I rely on him. But
Is he a jiu-jitsu guy?
he is, and he used to wrestle before. So he
Okay.
wanted me to talk to you and ask you about your wrestling and everything. But he used to wrestle. So what he does, he kind of like he hits me. He clubs me pretty hard. I'm like, dude, what
Yeah.
the fuck? So he doesn't know the rules super well. Sometimes he'll grab individual fingers, and he'll just do like
Uh,
shit that bothers me. So I wrist locked him the other day, and I kind of hurt
dirty.
him. Dirty, dirty. Yeah, I know. So now I think we're just to keep things cordial in the place. We're kind of like not down to train so much. But
I
yeah,
don't
I
train at
remember.
home, man. I won't do it.
Do you feel like it's hard to like separate, work from, or you'd rather just have your home space as like your home
It's
space?
home space. Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to. It's my home. That's where I want to like chill and relax and not think about jujitsu.
yeah,
And I have like one of my roommates is a black belt and the other one's a purple belt. So it's like it'd be very easy for us to get into a heated battle.
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't want to. I don't have a lot of space. I'm like looking around. I feel like someone would definitely get impaled if we tried to train in here.
yeah. Like as a kid, my dream was always to have like I wanted to take out all the furniture in my room and just put mats down. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be awesome. But as I get older, I feel like, man, I feel like it's so necessary to kind of have that escape and getting away from it a little bit that I can't imagine having just jujitsu like all the time. As much as I love it, it's that's something I can't mentally handle at this point.
Like you know how you shouldn't do work in bed? They say
Hmm.
like your bed should be your sleeping space, not your workspace. And if you sit in bed and do work, then you're not gonna be ready to sleep when you go to bed. You're gonna be ready to do work. I feel like that
Yeah.
about home also. It's like I need my jujitsu space to be somewhere else. I need my home space to be my home space.
Yeah. Did you ever have a time when you were like, just jujitsu all the time and it just kind of like wore on you after a while? I definitely went through that.
Yeah,
I had to kind of go through like trials and errors. It wasn't something that I knew right away. It was something that I kind of had to realize through just always being occupied with jujitsu.
yeah, for sure, all the time. Pretty much every training camp. Like when the training camps are over, I'm like, ah, thank God, I'm so done with jujitsu. And then a week will go by or 2 weeks, and then I'm ready to get back into it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Do you
get
ever
every
like,
training camp.
yeah. Do you ever kind of like sometimes I enjoy the grind. I know you enjoy the grind, or else we wouldn't be doing this. But at the same time, sometimes like in the middle of like a world's camp or something, I will find myself like getting jealous sometimes of the guy who comes in for the one class and is just kind of there to learn something and
Casual
have some fun.
training.
The casual train, I'm like, oh man, sometimes I wish it could just be that sometimes, as
Yeah,
much as I enjoy the hard rounds, sometimes I just want to have it as like an outlet, not have it be
yeah.
everything.
This
Have
is
you
the
have you
curse
gone
of
through
having
phases
it.
like that?
It's your job, right?
Yeah, it's my job. Oh yeah,
No matter
absolutely.
how much you love your job, you're not going to love going to it every day, right? There's
Yeah.
just going to be good days and bad days. There's going to be days you don't want to do your job, no matter how much you love it.
Hmm.
So yeah. Hey, what have you been up to?
Man, I've just been trying to keep busy as
You
best I
crushing the
can.
home workouts though. I see you're sweaty as fuck.
Dude, I'm doing what I can. Like I'm just trying to like mimic my training schedule as best I can with home workouts. And it feels good, I mean, it's not the same as training, of course, but it's like something to keep me sane where I don't feel like I'm sitting around too much.
Right.
By the end of the
There's
day,
guilt, right?
there's
You
guilt.
have
There's
guilt.
there's huge guilt. If you don't
I don't know
put
how to
in like
name it.
I
It's
don't know,
like
like
it's a lack of training guilt. You
you know what
just
it
feel
is.
like I feel like a bad person when I'm not training.
Yeah. You know what it is for me? I have like an issue with like food. If I eat anything, I have to like earn it before somehow.
Yes,
There's
I do
yeah.
that too.
Yeah. You have to like do even if it's just like doing some push-ups before. It's like I have to do something to warrant me having this meal. So obviously we can eat
Yes.
kind of whatever right now. And I can't say my diet has been fantastic. So I'm like
No.
I gotta put these workouts in.
This is
Or
what
else
I do,
I'm
man. I eat super healthy for the daytime.
hmm.
Morning, great breakfast, lunch, healthy, dinner, healthy. But then when it's dessert time, I just crush it. I
Yeah,
just crush the desserts, man. And then I wake up the next morning feeling really guilty about it. And that's when I force myself to go run because I crushed like a pint of Ben and Jerry's and a brownie and a pack of Skittles. I'm like,
easy to
fuck,
do.
like I need to get out there and run. I have to go do it.
But the worst thing about that though is that I'll like finish the day. I'm like, oh man, I ate healthy the whole day, and then I have the same kind of days, and I'm like, fuck, I was doing so good. What did I do that for? And I just go to bed hating myself.
I don't know if I run because I feel like I have to make up for the shit that I ate, or if I run preemptively so that I can earn the shit that I want to eat.
Yeah. It's yeah. I've gone through the same thing. It's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, right.
But I'm so. What have you been up to during this time? How have you been able to kind of fill the hours of
I go
emptiness
I
and
go through phases.
yeah.
Sometimes I try to teach myself something new. For
Hmm.
about a week, I was on a Chinese characters kick, where
Okay.
I was trying to learn how to write in Chinese characters.
Yeah.
Super interesting, actually. I just on YouTube, I was watching YouTube videos, um, and then I was reading a book on the stock market and investing by
Hmm.
it was an old book, and I don't know, trying to just educate myself, and then but yeah, then I get sick of it, and I try to just I run every day, and I've been organizing my apartment and shopping for houses, and trying to see if there's any real estate opportunities, and I don't know, man. I'm just every day is I'm gonna start this week. I'm gonna remodel my cousin's backyard with him. Like
Okay.
it's hard labor, but I'm so fucking bored that I welcome the hard labor. Like I would be nice to get out there in the dirt and get dirty and shovel dirt. And I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, you
going
need
through
you need
things.
to feel like accomplished in some way by the end of
Bro,
the day,
normally my
like you
life
did
more
some.
every day there's hard labor in my life. Like I go to jujitsu training and it's 2 hours of hard labor,
Yeah,
and I don't have that. And it's like that's why I have to run because I just can't go to sleep if I don't exhaust myself in some way, shape, or form.
yeah,
You know. Um, but yeah, it's been it sucks. You know, my parents only live about an hour away from me, but I can't go visit them.
Hmm.
And I thought about trying to adopt or not adopt, but foster an animal.
Hmm.
So I registered, I signed up, I did everything. I was like, I want to, I'll foster a dog for as long as I can before I have to start traveling again. Bro, there's no dogs to foster.
Everyone
There's
took
no
them all
more.
already.
Yeah, they're all gone. They have zero dogs in San Diego for foster care. Zero.
Really? You would
Yeah.
think that I would think like somewhere in San Diego, beautiful weather all the time, that'd be like a place where I don't know, dogs would go. That'd be a huge place for it. No, you can't.
You can't
Nothing.
foster a dog. They got scooped up. All the families took them in. Like everyone got bored and wanted a
Everyone,
dog.
everyone needed a quarantine buddy.
Yeah,
For people
seriously.
who live alone.
Seriously, and there's a message. Hit me up if you want a dog. Yeah.
Hey, so maybe this is the opportunity to find someone who can help you foster a dog.
Yeah. But like I said, it's a phase now. I'm not really actively pursuing a dog anymore.
So it sounds like you've just been going through like doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that during this time. One thing
Yeah.
that like I remember stuck with me when this all happened was I wanted to try to find a way to like improve myself somehow
Yeah.
during this time. Like if I feel like I leave this whole quarantine time worse than I came in, um, I don't feel like it'll be very productive for me and for you. We just train a lot. But is there anything that you feel like you would like to accomplish or like to say like when you come back to training like I feel like I improved in this aspect of my life where maybe if I was training all the time, I wouldn't have probably been able to do that.
Nah.
Or do you just miss training?
No. Um, no, I mean, to be honest, like it's just really basic shit. Like just I wanted to rip out my closet and organize it. That's something I've
Yeah,
been wanting to do for years. Because I put everything in storage bins and I pack it into the closet and I just forget about it.
yeah,
And in the beginning of the quarantine, I ripped out half of it and I did half of it. It was a success. I got half of it done. And then now I'm in this little loop where I say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. But I do this every day, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And then today I have a good excuse. I'm like, oh, I got to talk to Gianni. I can't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow.
this 1 hour is what's keeping you from doing
This
that.
1 hour, this is it. This is my adventure for the day.
You have to have your prep before. You have to have your decompression afterwards. That
right.
that takes this shit takes time. This 1 hour
I
eventually
just,
turns into about a 5 or 6 hour thing.
right. I honestly, I try to accomplish one thing every day.
Yeah,
Like if I can just do one thing that's productive every day, I'm happy. If I can do two or three, it's great. But if I can get one done, good. The problem is I start just going for the run. I run 5 miles and I'm like, okay, I did something today. Cool. I'm accomplished. That's it. And then
yeah,
I'll just chill out for 4 hours. And it's a mistake and I hate it. But I'm literally just to the point where I just literally don't know what else to do with myself.
yeah. It's difficult. It's definitely difficult. There's definitely days where I find myself sitting around. I'm like, all right, now what? I answer a couple emails. I
Right.
send a couple messages. I do this chat. And I'm like, a couple workouts. They take about like 2.5 hours total. I'm like, okay, now what? There's too much time in the day right now.
Right. It's a
Yeah.
good problem to have, but it's still a problem nonetheless.
Has
Johnny,
has yes.
I had a couple questions for you as well.
Oh, okay.
Because as you know, I do some
So
interviewing
yes, I
as
know.
well.
Yes.
As well,
So
yeah.
do you take notes before all your podcasts? Do you like
Not
literally have like
usually, not
yeah.
not usually, but I did this time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to take notes a little bit the first few times I did this, and then I stopped because I just wanted to flow. The more I tried to keep it rigid, the more
For
I didn't
sure.
like it. Yeah. So okay, that's good to know.
Flowing is the best. Flowing is the
Flowing is
best
that
for sure.
unless it's
Um,
in
I,
training.
I just jotted these notes down because like so many times that I've had ideas of what to talk about on my podcast. And me and Keenan
Hmm.
will start talking, and then we start flowing, and then I forget. I forget what to.
And then you can't come back to it. Yeah.
Right. So I wanted to know if you've ever seen Marcelo get super, super mad at someone because
Hmm.
he comes off as the
Oh,
nicest
actually,
guy in the world.
yeah.
But everybody has a bad day, and Andre Galvao is the nicest guy in the world. But I've seen him lose it on a guy a few times in the past 6 years.
So okay, I've seen it firsthand
You don't got to
because
tell me who. You don't got to say what happened. It's just
okay,
you
okay.
can just say yes or
Oh,
you can
yes
say
or
yes
no?
or no. You can
But
say as
but
much as you feel it's okay to say.
but it it's hard to say. Like you don't really see him get mad. You could tell he's not happy with something, but
Like,
his positive tone never changes. You know,
okay.
he'll still
Yeah, you
have the
can just tell that he's
smile.
disappointed.
He'll be disappointed, but he'll
Yeah.
still have the same positive look all the time, which is it's really eerie because you're like, oh, you know, he's mad about something, but he's
Under the
still
surface,
yeah,
he's thinking.
but he's still super bright as always. So yeah, he can definitely get mad, but he definitely is a professional at hiding it. You know, I would say
Okay.
that. Yeah, I think someone commented as well. It's like more disappointed than mad. You
Which
know,
is probably
so
worse.
yeah, yeah. When I disappoint him or when someone disappoints him, it's like you feel like shit for the rest of the day. It's
Oh
not a
my
good
God,
feeling.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
I fucked up. I remember one time Andre actually brought me into the office. This was years ago, and and he sat me down and we were talking, and he goes, "Josh, I'm really disappointed in you." You know,
That's hurt.
and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh my God, it just hurt so much
my
to hear
heart.
this." Like I've seen him scream at people. I've seen him completely lose his cool, like in the middle of training. I've seen him get mad at people. Not often. I'm not trying to like say he's a out of control or anything. He's
But he
not
can
by
also
any
be
way.
intense. Yeah.
Everyone loses it sometimes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Including
yeah.
myself. Um, but like, man, when he did that, it stung. I was like, oh man, I messed up. I messed up.
Yeah.
Next question, Gianni. What is the best way to submit Mateus Denise?
Oh shit. You're asking the wrong person. That's really hard.
I'm just kidding. I'm just. I don't even expect an answer to that. Um,
um, it's
I just,
it's
I just feel
hard.
like the training partners know the Achilles heel of their training partners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Want me to tell you something?
I can
So
tell you the best way
yeah.
to submit Lucas.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't, but I
I mean,
could.
it's one thing to know it. It's another thing to actually go do it.
Right. And I'm not saying I can do it. I'm just saying I've seen it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've seen him train so many times, and I've trained with him so many times, and not just him. I mean, about all my teammates. I pretty much know the best strategy to get around all of their best moves. But I was just curious if you know or want to share with us.
I'm trying to think. I might have got lucky with a couple like triangles back in the day.
Is there
he's always
is there
going
anyone
past
in that training room that has his card? You know
him
what I
and
mean?
Marco. Him and Marcos really go at it.
They battle.
Tractor is super tough. Um,
Yeah, I would
you know
imagine.
what's crazy? Marcelo still smokes us all when he wants to.
Really?
When he wants to. So it's funny. Like sometimes there'll be rounds with Marcelo where he's like he has no ego in training. He doesn't care really of the result. He's trying things. Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like someone will be like, "Oh, how was your round with Marcel?" I'm like, "I boloed him and choked him, but that didn't really feel like he was, it felt like he was trying something or whatever." And I remember
Right.
distinctly one time, like when everyone was still around, all the black belts, and he came back from like an ACL surgery, so he was just coming back out of shape, and all the guys like Mateus, Marco, Satava, Munchie, myself, Bernardo were still there. He went with like all of us one day. He was like really feeling it. And I just remember looking over each time and he just having someone in bottom half guard, like just smushed, you
Smashing
know?
them.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I guess Marcelo could still have some, but I mean, Mateus he's probably, I won't say anything, but he's really tough to deal with
I
in the
know.
gym for
I
sure.
didn't expect you to answer. I was just
I
joking.
did one round. The last time I tapped him, I cheated. He passed my guard and got to north south, and he likes going to north south chokes. But what I did was I put my foot on the back of
And the
his
belt.
belt, and I was
Yeah.
able to bring my legs around. I ended up on his back, and
Yeah.
while he was like, "Is that even legal?" I kept training. I went for the choke, and I got him with that. That was the
Is
only thing
that
I could
legal
do.
though? The
He
foot inside the
actually
belt?
he looked it up and he said it was illegal, and I was really pissed because I felt
It
so
is.
good about that. It is illegal. Yeah,
It's
you can't put your foot inside the belt, I guess, and use that as like a leverage or a push
okay.
off.
Ever.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. No.
But you can grab the end of the belt if it's tied, right?
Yeah.
And put your foot under the knot the way Keenan does or Lucas. They
Mm-hmm.
play belt guard, or even Andres does it sometimes. He plays belt guard.
Yeah. Can you
Um,
still use the belt as like a almost like excuse me, as like another lapel almost? Is that
yeah,
still legal?
yeah, you can do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
think you just like you can't put your foot inside the gi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the armpit or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And then I think you can't put the foot inside the belt.
Hmm. Yeah. I was really
Interesting.
disappointed about that. I was proud of that move, and then to find out it wouldn't be legal was very disappointing.
We do the exact same thing, man. If somebody wins a match with something controversial, for sure they go to the rule book and they look it up and they bring it back the next day. Like, no, man, sorry, you couldn't do that. That was illegal.
He just couldn't let me have it. I'm like, come on, dude, come on, this is my one time, my one thing. Just give me this.
Are you guys just as competitive as we are with each other? Like when
Yeah,
you train with someone, right? It's like this. If we train together, we all train together pretty much every day, right? Or we used to, in the old times, you know. And if someone wins, like that's kind of your bragging right for the day, just for the
yeah,
day, because tomorrow's
yeah,
a new day, and you know for sure anything can change the next day, right?
hmm,
We all have good days
yeah,
and bad days in trading, and like some days you're on fire, and some days you're not,
absolutely.
and you get to brag for the day, and that's about it. Yep. Do
Yeah,
you guys do that? Do you guys like we
I
poke at
don't
each
know.
other?
I don't know. We would actually not too much. I feel like we don't really talk about the training so much. Not like we don't talk about the training, but we don't like. At least I don't know. Maybe Brazilians talk about it more in Portuguese that I'm not hearing. But
That's also a good point.
that's also yeah.
The,
They could
se-
be
the,
doing
se-
that.
the secret language.
I could be not know. They could be totally cool if I have a good round on one of them, but secretly they're just like I'm gonna kill Gianni tomorrow or something.
That's what I know. If I beat someone one day, I know they're coming for me the next day. I
Oh,
know
I
it. And
know it. Yeah, yeah.
even when I
That'll
slap and
happen.
bump with them, I'm just like, oh, I know this guy's gonna try to murder me right now.
Do you ever get do you guys have like set rounds? Like say you have like 10-minute rounds. Do you know you're going with person 1 through 6, or is it kind of like in between
We do
rounds you
that.
find someone?
We do
Yeah.
both.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes Galval will just tell us what to do. He'd be like, all right, pick your next 6 rounds right now because you're not gonna have a long enough break to figure it out during the
Yeah.
break. You know what I mean? He'll be
I
like,
would
you're
like
gonna
that.
have yeah, he's gonna say you're gonna have a 30-second break and you're gonna need that to get water. So you're not gonna be walking around trying to find a partner. So line up your partners now. I like that, to be honest. What I don't like is when he starts switching partners. He starts assigning partners,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right?
I always
You
wonder
know,
what's their what's like Marcelo does the same thing and I never like it because he'll put me with certain people. I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to train with that guy. But or
exactly.
whatever.
That's the
But
point.
I wonder what do you think their reasoning is for that? Because most of 9 times out of 10 they won't. But then they'll have that one day where they,
Because
they have a power trip, I think.
I think it's because naturally we try to avoid certain people. Probably the people that give us the most trouble or the people who kind of shut down our A games the best.
Hmm.
Um, you know what I mean? Like there's certain people that you just don't want to always you don't want to train with very much, and there's certain people you do want to train with very much. And I'm not saying you're avoiding tough guys or you're targeting the easier guys, but there's just certain people that their game is just unpleasant for you to deal with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So naturally, you're
absolutely.
going to avoid those people. Someone who I've never ever enjoyed training with is Gustavo Batista.
Yeah. I
I
can't
just don't
imagine
enjoy
it.
training them. It's
Yeah.
always just a miserable, grindy round, and it's not very exciting per se. It's not very dynamic. It's just like, man, he's a tractor. Like if we could name someone tractor on our team, it would be him for sure.
Yeah.
Slow, inch by inch, steady pressure. It's impossible to move him. You know, he's got the base of a pyramid. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But he's phenomenal, right? He's great. He's a great jiu-jitsu guy. He's a great training partner, but it's just not fun. So
Yeah.
of course, I probably don't train with him as much as I should. So
Yeah.
if Galval sees that, he'll be like, Josh, go Galval or go Gustavo, you know?
Are you
So
just always looking for the guys that kind of just scrap and go and it's kind of just do you prefer like the wild rounds or is it not even just that? It's just like
I like the wild rounds.
yeah, I've seen some of the rounds.
I like
You
the
seem to draw
dynamic.
those.
I like scrambles. I've always done well with scrambles. Like it's a wrestling thing, I think. Wrestling is a lot of scrambling, and I think I've just always had a good scramble in me. Um, yeah, yeah.
Well, I was just asking that just because sometimes another thing that you get if you don't have your set rounds is I love it when you do well with someone and they're like, you want to go again? I'm like, most of the time I used to be like, yeah, fine. I used to get fired up. I'm like, nah, we're good today, bro.
I
Next
don't
time.
do that. Yeah, I don't do that. If I lost to someone, it's in my mind they're the winner for the day.
Yeah,
You know,
because
because the tournament, you don't get a second chance.
True. Very
You
true.
know, and that's what it is. You have to eat that loss for the day because that's what the tournament would be like. You know, and it's like
Yeah.
if you go to an IBJJF tournament, like you can sign up for gi one day, no gi the next day, and yeah. So if you show up to the tournament and you lose your round, you're done for the day. Go home. You know, and you can come back the next day and try again. And yeah, I don't. I always get kind of annoyed when people do that to me. If I beat them and they come at me for the second round later in the training session, I'm just like, man, there's like, and it's not like we have a shortage of black belts. We don't. We have 20
Yeah.
maybe. You know, there's no shortage. Yeah, I just know they want revenge. Um, and yeah, I wish they would just not do that because I don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, come back
I
the
know.
next day and let's do it again.
And I feel like, say if I lose a round, I'm like, well, I'm not going to ask because I don't want to maybe make it worse. You know,
Right,
who knows?
right,
I'm like, let me just cut my losses and just move on.
right. Come
I'll see
back
him tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
and it's like it's like your it's my motivation not to eat Ben and Jerry's that night. You know, I'm
Mm.
like, I lost today. I'm gonna eat really healthy now. I'm not gonna have Ben and Jerry's. I'm gonna go to
How
bed
often is
early.
a how often is Ben and Jerry's when you're allowed to have it, or when it's when there's no weight cutting time?
Sadly, man, I'll buy them like in groups of four, and I'll kill all
Uh,
four in about a week.
okay.
Yeah, I can go on a binger, man. While I have a pint every night. I have successfully not done that during quarantine.
Yeah,
So I do
because
like
we'd be in
one
trouble
pint a
then.
week. Yeah.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
just
That's
have
fair.
one pint on the weekend, and then and I and I definitely I run that day and I run the next day to burn it off and to earn it. You know.
Are you also like for me, I'm pretty like restricted with the flavors that I go with because I feel like, oh, if this is like I'll have it like once or twice a week tops. And I feel like if I go like a different route and I try something new and I don't like it, I'm like, fuck, now I gotta wait till next week to try it again. Or are you just like super like well rounded, you try everything?
I got four flavors that I know I love, man.
Yeah.
Four flavors: cinnamon buns, number one; red
Mm.
velvet cake, number two; Americone Dream, number three; and you know, to be honest, there's a few more, but I'm not going to get into the pumpkin cheese. The pumpkin cheesecake is
Yes.
really good,
Yes, that one is
really good.
really good, really good.
There's oat of this swirl.
Or like an oatmeal type one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be out
Oatmeal
of
and
this world,
cinnamon.
right? But it's
Oh
oat
yeah.
of this swirl. That's a really good one. But I think cinnamon buns is the best by far. But it's hard to find. Hard to
Well,
find.
I remember I messaged you once because you found all these flavors that I've never seen, but you have to go to a Target to find these. Like Target is the
Yeah.
place. Yeah, it was so
Yes.
weird. I found flavors I'd never seen before. I was like, wow, this is where it's all hell. This the secret
It's so
place.
sad, man. We have a grocery store across the street from Target too. So if like I go to Target and they don't have all the flavors I want, I will literally go across the street to the grocery store and check their flavors. I was
Yeah,
like, man,
yeah. I mean, hey, you got
this is a problem.
sometimes you make a Ben and Jerry's run. I've done that. I've gone to like three, four different places before, to find the ones to
I
go with.
want some cinnamon buns, man. Where are the cinnamon buns?
I don't think I've had that one yet. I'm gonna have to go that. I'm gonna have to try
So
that next
good,
time. Yeah.
so good. But the pumpkin cheesecake was surprisingly delicious. Also,
Yes.
like when I first tried it, I said this is either going to be a complete failure or it's going to be so awesome.
It was amazing. It was
It
amazing.
lived up. It lived up to the standards. Yeah, it was phenomenal. I was thinking, Johnny, I'm gonna change the subject. I was thinking
Okay.
of our very first physical interaction. I want to know if you remember it and if it's the same that I remember.
Okay. I don't think I'm gonna remember, but maybe you'll remind me.
What is your first memory of me in person? Do you remember where it was?
It's probably some guillotine you were getting on someone. I remember watching.
No, no. My first memory of us is San Francisco Open.
Well, that was the tournament, yes. But I was thinking of your match. I'm not sure what happened between. So tell me. I'm terrible at
No,
these
I just
things.
remember. I remember that I think the first time we talked in person was is in the warm up area at the San Francisco Open, and I remember someone told me your name. One of my teammates like, "Oh, Johnny's here, Johnny Grippo," and I said, "Grippo?" I said, "The dude's name is Grippo, and he does jiu-jitsu." I was like, "That's the coolest last name you could have,
Yeah.
Grippo." I actually thought it was a joke. I thought it was your nickname or something. I was like, "Oh, maybe he has monster grips," and they just
Yeah.
named him Grippo because he has crazy grips. And yeah, and that's when I first saw you. And then I remember we just had a quick chat in the warm up area, San Francisco Open. And yeah, I think that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, that was like 2014 or
15.
2015,
14,
2015, that one.
14 or 15. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it might have been 2015. I think it might have been that.
Yeah,
Either way, it doesn't
it was
matter.
14 or 15. And then, and I remember you always having some epic matches with Kishino.
Yes.
And I was
Oh,
going to ask
that
you,
was yeah.
that was my
Oh,
next
that
question is who is your competition, frenemy, rival? You know, not like, not someone you have bad feelings towards, but like someone who just gives you epic battles that you've faced many times. I thought it might be Kishino, but
yeah.
I like
It's. I mean, Kishino is one of them. I think I fought him the most. I think we fought about like 12 times now.
12 times.
12. And I remember we fought 6 times my first year at black belt. And I remember thinking like, man, black belt's gonna this is gonna get old really fast
Right.
because we're just fighting the same person all the time. But it'd probably definitely be the Meows or Paulo especially because I fought him a bunch. I think I lost to him like the first 4 times we fought against each other, and then I finally beat him the last 2 times. But it's funny, yeah. I don't have any like frenemies when it comes to or any like no bad blood with him or anything like that.
No, no, no.
We even go to the same church together here usually.
I
And
saw
we
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's like Kishino, it's like the Meows.
Like I call Mateus my frenemy. You know, like
Yeah,
I
you
love
guys
the
get
guy.
along pretty
He's
well, it
he's a
seems.
great guy. You know, we get along great. We always hang out and chit chat at the tournaments, and you know, I have nothing but great feelings for him. But you know, he is the guy that I run into at the tournaments a lot recently. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't think I've ever faced anyone more than 4 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who was someone you probably faced the most then?
It's a tie actually. It's a four-way tie. No, I've faced Sinistro 4 times,
Okay.
and I've faced Mateus 4 times. I think that's it. There might be
Okay.
one more. There might be one more. I can't.
I feel like
But
at middle, yeah.
I've never faced anyone more than 4 times. And the crazy thing is, with every one of those people, we're tied 2-2.
Huh. So it's not like one person is just dominating the action there.
No, no, we're
What
tied
was the 4 times with Mateus? You guys fought at Nogi Worlds twice,
twice.
and then
Kasai
Kasai, and then
and
ADCC.
ADCC. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I feel like at middleweight, medium heavy, there's such a the division like the top dogs are like it's a bigger number than it is at feather. At feather, you normally get the same 6 to 8 guys, whereas I feel like middleweight, like there's like 16 people that
yeah,
could be
yeah.
like
There's a bell
you know,
curve.
yeah.
There's a bell curve, right? Because what? There's 9 categories, and the middleweight obviously is in the middle.
Hmm.
And that's the top. That's the biggest division, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is
Usually.
middleweight, and then medium heavy is right to the left of it, and lightweight is just to the right of it, and I think they're equally almost as full as middle, but not quite. Sometimes I think lightweight is the same as middle. Depends on the
Usually.
tournament. Yeah, it depends on the tournament. You did feather and lightweight, right?
Yeah, I've been going between those two,
Have you ever
depending
done
on.
middle?
No, but you what? I did have a little like phase where I was starting to lift more. I was starting to feel strong, and one summer I was just like, oh, I just want to do a tournament at middleweight, and for whatever I wanted to do DC Open at middle because I really wanted to fight DJ for some reason.
Uh,
He was in the division, and then I got like a huge gash on my eye and wasn't able to like train for a couple days. So then I was thinking, I probably should go down to light. I mean, that's lightweight's still going up for me. I did do
right.
medium. I did do medium heavy once because there was no one at like a no-gi tournament. So me and Marcos fought medium heavy. I fought Majid Hage that day. Um, that was the only time I've really moved up a weight class like that. But
I'm kind of like you. I think if I cut really hard, I can make middle.
hmm
But I'm underweight for medium heavy. So if I go to
yeah,
medium heavy, it's just easy. I'm a few pounds underweight. I don't have to worry about it at all. There's no cutting required. And then one time I decided, maybe 2 times I did heavyweight,
okay,
and it was just because I had already 3 teammates in medium heavy, and there was no one in heavy or something like that, you know. So I
yeah.
just went up there to avoid my teammates, and I did surprisingly well. I thought I always do well if I don't cut weight. I think
Hmm. I've,
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 maybe it's because
yeah,
I'm older. I think cutting weight when you're older affects you more.
yeah.
I think I
I
haven't.
mean,
I'm done cutting weight nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for a long time since I was 10, and I'm sure you've been doing it for years. And after a while, it just gets old after
Since
a
I was
while.
14.
Since you were 14, so you started wrestling at 14,
High school wrestling, yeah. I
high
remember
school
as a
wrestling.
freshman, I would walk around spitting into the cup,
Oh
which I
yeah,
just want to say is a fucking terrible idea for cutting weight. If any of you guys listening consider doing this, don't fucking do it because you're gonna like it's almost like your mouth cannot regenerate more saliva when it needs it. So you spit in the cup, maybe you lose half a pound, whatever, you make the weight. But when you're in the middle of the match, your mouth goes bone dry. Not just your mouth,
yeah.
but your throat. And breathing becomes very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's what I
I,
remember. Every time I ever spit into a cup, I just remember my mouth was just like cotton dry, like just really painfully dry to the point where swallowing would hurt and trying to breathe was uncomfortable. Fuck spitting in a cup. Don't spit in cups. It's not sexy, not cool. Don't do it.
it doesn't really help that much either.
No,
You
how
know,
much
it
can you
does,
spit off? Like a
not
half a
even a
pound
half
is
pound,
yeah,
maybe,
is the
maybe.
max.
If you go all in on that,
Right. And
maybe a
then
half
what
pound.
what my wrestling coach told me to do, he's like chew on some Starbursts to make your mouth water and then spit it out. And it
Yeah.
worked wonderfully actually.
Oh, okay.
But when you're in that match, bone dry in the mouth. It's just
Yeah.
it's awful. It was awful. I'm
Did
trying
you
to think.
guys when you were wrestling? I remember just seeing in high school. I never wrestled in high school or anything like that, but I remember just like seeing these kids that would like cut weight. The 4 years that we grew up, like these kids would just never grow, and I was always cutting weight as well for jiu-jitsu competitions and stuff. But I just felt like they maybe weren't like trained properly, on cutting weight properly. Was that kind of like a thing in high
For
school as well?
sure.
As just all bad weight cuts?
For sure. It was the most ridiculous thing. If I when I look back on it, it's embarrassing. Like I'm embarrassed to tell people what I used to do because it was
Yeah,
so fucking stupid. And my wrestling coach, my high school wrestling coach, for sure a bigger idiot, for encouraging fucking kids to do this.
yeah,
Like, I always wonder if I would be taller if I didn't cut weight in such a horrific way as a 15-year-old kid.
yeah.
Because I started cutting weight when I was 14. That's right when I first started wrestling. And then, when I was 15, 16, I was really into wrestling, really into it. And I just remember I would just starve for days, man. Just days on
Yeah.
just the most minimal amount of food I could possibly deal with while trying to do 2-hour wrestling practices, with layers and layers of sweatpants and sweatshirts, and then just dehydrating myself for days on end. It was so stupid, man. And I always wonder, like, did I stunt my own growth? Like, I wonder if there's like, if I have any health problems now. I mean, I don't have any health problems, period. But like, I just wonder if I would be a healthier human now if I didn't do all that shit when I was a child.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just remember like there was one kid who was next to me on my lockers that we were assigned. I just remember like the 4 years go by, and he just kind of stayed the same size. He wrestled and he cut all the time, and you could tell he just did a terrible job because he just stayed the same size those 4 years. He never grew. He just
Not at all, huh?
I think he stunted himself a little bit as well there.
That's crazy. Yeah, I went from when I was a freshman, I wrestled in 119, and then my sophomore year, I jumped up to 145. Junior year, 152. But I think I weighed my walking weight was like 180, 168, 170.
Holy
And
shit.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I would cut
How
down
were
to
you
one.
119 the year before, and then you go to
Right.
145? Like, just
Yeah, it's a growth spurt, a
yeah, yeah,
teenage growth spurt.
yeah.
And then for my senior year, I really wanted to win CIF. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like the regional championship. It's the
Okay.
California Interscholastic Federation. And that was always my goal because that's what my freshman coach had planted in my brain. He's like, if you win CIF, you're the man.
Hmm.
And that was always the plan. Okay, I got to win CIF. And I cut down to 145 that year for my senior year, which was just fucking terrible. So I was probably cutting 20 pounds a week, every week,
Oh man.
over and
You
over.
would go back up after. It's not
Yeah,
like
of
you were.
course. Yeah, after the matches, I'm Gatorades, food, pasta, eating, blowing back up. And then I'd have one day at a normal weight. And then boom, on Monday, I would start over, like start trying to lose the weight Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because the dual match was on Thursdays. So the dual match was on Thursdays. the tournament was on Saturday. So
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I had to be on weight. Sunday,
Kind of
Monday,
like
Tuesday,
ADC.
Wednesday, yeah, Sunday I would let myself go back to normal, and then Monday I started the cuts again. Just a miserable existence. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone.
But you wouldn't have like any control on that Sunday. This you just kind of go all out on that Sunday. It wouldn't be like, oh
Had
shit, I
to.
have to think about next week. You know,
Have you seen that movie on Netflix called The Platform?
I don't think so. I don't think
It's
so.
in
No.
Spanish, but it's has subtitles.
Okay.
It's super interesting. It's just like a sci-fi reality. It's a prison, right? All these people are in this prison, and there's a hole in the middle of their floor, and there's levels, right? Hundreds and hundreds of levels that you can look down and see the other
Hmm.
prisoners.
Yeah.
And you can jump down if you wanted to. You probably shouldn't because they'll kill you, but you could. And then there's a platform that comes down through each level and stops, and it's full of food. And everyone just eats as much as they can because that's the only food they're going to get for the day. And every day at the top of the level, the platform is full of food. It looks beautiful. It's a feast. There's like hundreds of levels though, right? So you can imagine by level 50, the food's gone.
Yeah.
But there's hundreds of levels. So the people at the
Okay.
bottom are starving. They're
Mm.
absolutely starving. They're actually eating each other. That's how much they're starving.
Oh,
But
sounds like a good one to watch.
it's a pretty horrible movie. I mean, it's good. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's gory. But the point is, if the people at the top didn't gorge themselves, if they didn't just eat everything, there would actually be enough food to go all the way to the bottom, and everyone could eat.
Hmm.
But their mentality is, I don't know when I'm going to get to eat again. So if they're at the top, they just stuff themselves because every month the order gets switched.
Yeah.
So you could be on the top level one month and at the bottom level the next month. So one month you're eating your human, your partner, and the next level, the next time you're at the top. So that's kind of the mentality I had. It's like, man, on Sundays I have to eat as much as I can
Because you don't know when
because
you can again.
I don't want. Yeah, I have a whole week of starving ahead of me, right? So I got to load up now. It was just so stupid. It was
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
that
When you
the
look at it
whole.
now, it's like, what was I doing this whole time?
I could have just eaten like a healthy person, consistently. I don't know. I just wish I had a better strategy. I wish I had a better coach to give me a better strategy for cutting weight. Because what does a 15-year-old kid know? Nothing.
Yeah. I'm sure like
It,
when you first figured out like in jiu-jitsu or whenever it was like how to properly cut weight, like someone showed you a nutritionist and this and that, you must be like, holy shit, what did I do all those years in high school? Must have
well,
been such a
yeah,
eye opener.
yeah. When I started training jiu-jitsu, it was with an MMA team, and I started fighting MMA in 2003 or something. And yeah, he gave me a whole different strategy for cutting weight.
Yeah.
It was way different. I was eating every day. I would eat chicken and rice and veggies. It was, food. It was nourishment. And it was still horrible. Like, it's still a horrible way to try to cut weight. Like, trying to train for an MMA fight with just chicken and rice sucks.
Yeah.
But it was a better strategy. And it wasn't the best strategy. It still wasn't even the healthiest diet that I could have had. But the strategy was definitely better. Now now it's just weight, but now it's just for me now it's like, man, if I'm 5 pounds underweight and I'm the smaller guy but I'm healthy and fit, I do much better. I
Do you
feel
think it's
great.
just it's nice to have one less thing to have to think about when you're
For
getting
sure.
going to competition? It's just
For
you're
sure.
going, especially when you're going through these hard training camps. You know every day is going to be a grind. You know the competition is going to be tough. There's a lot of tough guys, to prepare for whatever. Just everything you have to go through. It's like, man, why put yourself through that? Especially really make it super hard. If it's a few pounds, I can see, but
It's so stressful.
I always noticed that. I mean, I always used to think I competed better when I was down a weight class, but now I think I just kind of almost like my mind is just freer, a little less
100%.
pressure, and also like I just feel just overall healthier,
And like,
more
you
mentally
have
than anything.
energy.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
energy, and you can use that energy to fight, and that's
yeah,
wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. The feeling of having to go into a match while you feel you have no energy, that's a shitty feeling.
yeah.
That feels terrible. Like knowing, oh man, I made it to the finals. I've had 3 matches so far. I got through them, but now your energy level. Oh, look at this,
Oh,
Mateus. What's up, buddy?
Mateus has entered the chat.
Him and I have a date on Wednesday. a little,
Yeah.
a little, little phone chat.
Oh, nice.
Anyways, but yeah, just the idea of having to go fight. Like, yeah, if I had to go fight with Mateus while I'm completely depleted and out of energy and exhausted because I'm cutting, there's no way. It's just going to be a horrible, horrible experience.
Yeah.
You know,
You know,
it's a much more fun and pleasant experience uh, if you're nourished.
of course. Yeah. I remember seeing Musa Messi at Worlds this past year, and he made rooster
Oh
weight.
my God. I
And
could,
I
yeah.
I don't know if you saw him in the bullpen or in the warm up
He
area.
looks,
Like
he looks horrible.
his partner had to like move him around. I remember he was just really out of it, really out of it. Like the only way for him to like break a sweat, like his partner had to kind of like move him around while Mikey was kind of just holding on to grips. I'm like,
Right.
how's this guy gonna fight in like probably 15, 20 minutes? He can't even move right now. Um,
Who? Uh, oh, Bruno. He fought Bruno. Yeah.
he fought Bruno the next day, so he was able to
Oh,
reha
that's
I'm
right.
sure.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
he basically like survived his one match. He got through his one
Right.
match, he said, and then faced Bruno the next day. But man, I can't imagine having to compete like feeling. I remember I made light feather once for Worlds, and I think I did it pretty well because I kind of did a water cut towards the end, and so I mean obviously that's not great either, but I was still kind of eating leading up to that. But I remember as I was warming up, anytime like someone would call my name or I would look up, like I would start getting super lightheaded. Like I'd almost like pass out. I had
Your
to kind
blood
of like
pressure
keep
is all
my,
fucked up. Yeah, blood
it
sugar.
was all fucked up. And I remember just thinking like when I was in that match, I'm like, just get through this match. Just get through this match, just don't
Right.
pass out. Whatever you do, don't
Right.
pass out. You don't need that.
I've seen Leo Jr. do that, man. Like just surviving on egg whites. That's it. He's just
Mm.
nibbling on egg whites, and he's like, I just need to get through the first match. If I can survive the first match, I'll be good. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
But
you
then
weigh in, you
it's
get
hard
like,
to get through that first match.
of course, it's
No.
the worst
Yeah.
match ever. You feel like absolute garbage. Oh, I don't miss that. I don't encourage anyone from. I'm gonna shut this door because it's fucking lawnmower. Oh. Yeah, I don't encourage
I
anyone
have
to
a
cut weight.
I have a feeling that first weight cut that we do, hopefully we do it the right way. But whenever this whole thing ends and we're able to compete again, that first weight cut is gonna suck because we're gonna be in such a routine of eating whatever we want all the
Eating
time.
crap, sleeping till noon.
Yeah, it's as much as we miss it. I'm sure as soon as I get back, I'm gonna be a little bitch for a couple days. I'm like,
We're gonna
oh, I
say,
gotta do
dang,
this
no,
again.
we're gonna get back into training. We're gonna be like, dang, I miss those quarantine days. I miss
Those are the good.
sleeping. I
Those
miss
were the good
sleeping
old days.
in. I miss not doing anything all day.
Well, it looks like Mateus is saying that he's about like a super heavyweight now.
He's 215.
He's a big
That's
boy.
just,
He has no shame about it either. He'll come in back from Brazil after his vacation. He's like, "Look how fat I am," and he's all
he
proud of
always
it.
looks really healthy at heavyweight. So whenever he cuts down to medium heavyweight, I think, oh, I hope he's really tired from this weight cut. Of course, he never is.
No,
But I
he's got
will.
energy for that. Wishful thinking for sure. I've always felt like he was better at medium heavy. For me, I don't know if you feel like this. Maybe it's the reason why we compete better sometimes when we fight up, or maybe sometimes doing the open weight. Sometimes I prefer the guys that are like a little bigger, a little slower. When you get like
Yeah,
when you get the lightweight guys or middleweight guys, they're strong and they're big, but they're also like super fast too. You know?
and Mateus can weigh in on this from his little chat box. I find it much more difficult. 77, right?
Mm,
I would die, bro, if I tried to make 77. I think it's much more difficult to face smaller people than bigger people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I would have a
Oh yeah.
much more difficult time passing your guard than I do, passing a guard of a guy who's like, I don't know, Mateus, heavyweight. I think
Yeah.
it's much more difficult because you can tuck yourself into a little ball. The person I think of specifically is Pablo Montavani, and I'm pretty sure you've had matches
Yes.
with him, right?
Yeah. It was very
Yeah,
difficult
so
just because he's a tiny guy who just
he's
curls up. I'm like,
tiny.
yeah. I know
If
exactly
you
what you're
give
saying.
him this much space, he can put his knee inside or his elbow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Passing the guard of a bigger guy like Keenan, so much easier. So much easier. Not that I'm saying Keenan's
Of
guard is
course.
easy to
Yeah.
pass,
Yeah.
but if I pass, it's way, way, way easier to hold. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
once the pass is complete.
They're so big that there's more space to find.
He has to move
There's
his
more
hips
likely
so
there are more
far.
openings. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He has to
Yeah.
move his hips so far to put his knee back inside of something. It's very difficult for him. But like Pablo, man, I cannot. Or Andy Murasaki, man,
Okay.
the passing the guy's guard is impossible. But if you do, he just needs this much space to get it back, you know.
Yeah.
So Mateus, he agrees 100%.
Yeah. Are there a couple guys that like for me I have like maybe 4 or 5 guys that I'll train with regularly. I'd like who are like your partners when you're training that you're like these are like the go-to guys that day. Sometimes you end up with the people that you maybe don't train with regularly, but
Right,
like are there
right.
like 4 or 5 guys you say would be everydayers?
Yeah. One of my best friends is his name is Nassar Loynab.
Hmm.
He's pretty much my go-to drilling partner. If Nassar is gone, I'll go to Lucas. Me and Lucas train together. Um, to be honest, that's about it in terms of like my go-to training partners.
Yeah, yeah. Those are
There
the
are
top two, and then
those are the two guys that I usually get stuck with. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's someone else. Man, it's been a little while. That's it.
no easy days. Do you have a does Galbao like say when you're in the training like okay I'm like pro training or the competition training the black belts are training with the black belts or is there like a good
Yeah.
mix sometimes as well?
You know what I love about Galvao is he's really good at mixing up the training sessions. Like
Okay.
we never repeat the same training sessions. Like one day is going to be long rounds, maybe 10-minute rounds. You know, the next day could be 2-minute rounds. It could be we could
Yeah.
get in groups. Like sometimes we get in groups of 4, and that's your training group for the entire session. Like you're going to stick with these 3 guys, and that's it. You're not going anywhere else. Sometimes he'll put all the black belts on one side of the mat and black and brown, and then all blue and purple on the other side of the mat, and they just stay
Hmm.
over there. Sometimes he'll split the room by weight. Sometimes he'll say all lightweights go to the other side of the room, all heavyweights go to this side of the room, and that's it. You stay there. You don't cross.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very creative with his training sessions, and I think that's one of the things that has really helped make training more tolerable. You know, especially when it gets really hard and really grindy, and it's like you start waking up in the morning, you're just like, fuck, I don't want to go there, like
Yeah.
training camp style, like when you're really hurting. It's nice that he changes up the training sessions, or we do a lot of situational training. That's, I think, a really great way to break the monotony, because let's
Yeah.
say, for example, like, let's say you just never get the opportunity to take Marcos Tinoco's back. Maybe he's just like in the training sessions, you'll never get there. It's just the matches are too hard. But if you do some situational training and he's your partner, boom, you get a chance to attack his back for once. He gets the opportunity to have you on his back. This is something you probably might never find in the training rounds if you started on your feet. So I think that's cool.
Yeah.
It changes
So
changes it up a lot.
yeah, I find that to be like super important. Just kind of having like a mixture in training is essential. Like Marcelo doesn't. He actually had a talk with us, and he wanted more guys to like train because we're all just training with each other all the time, all the black belts and stuff.
Of
I always
course.
kind of, but he almost wanted us to mix it up a little bit more so that we try to find ways to like open up our game or try to
Right.
experiment more and try to do different things. Is there certain phases where you guys are? I'm sure you guys are doing that like more in the evening. Would you say where you're mixing it up with different people or
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know?
We do the competition style training in the mornings. It's just hard, grindy suck. And then in the
Hmm.
evenings, it's a little more open and you're there's not so much pressure for you to kill yourself. Chances are you don't have that much energy left anyways from the morning session.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the evenings are a lot nicer. But it is hard to get warmed up that second time, after you killed it in the
Yeah.
morning for a few hours and then you go home. I don't know what your schedule's like, but I come home, I eat, shower, and I take a nap. I just hit the bed for like an hour at least. I just don't
That's
move.
nice.
And then
But
trying to get
that's
back out of bed is fucking painful, man. Because like after your body tightens up and it gets cold, it's like around 3:30, 4 p.m. I get out of bed because I teach the kids at 5.
uh-huh.
And man, getting out of bed is just like
Yeah.
like a
I
squeaky
don't know if that's
machine.
the I don't know if that's the best strategy. I think it's the most comfortable strategy to do that. But at the same time, like for me, I just stay at the gym. I don't even most of
Keep
the
you
time
keep
I don't even
moving.
yeah, well, not even they close the gym and everything, but they let me sleep on the mats. I'm like a homeless person.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
let me stay there. So you never go into like a deep sleep where you're like just out and then it's hard to get
Right.
up.
Yeah.
You're always kind of like
Power
stimulated
nap.
somehow. Power nap, yeah. I feel like if I do any more than 20 minutes, I'm gonna be screwed. I'm not gonna want to get up.
How far
The
do you
word
live from the academy?
So I'm like a 15-minute train ride. I'm about like 30 minutes door to door.
Okay.
But
See, I'm
so yeah.
5 minutes door to door.
Oh, okay. That's a game
Yeah,
changer right there.
it's like
And
literally two
driving.
miles down the road. So it's like
Oh
it's so
man.
easy for me to come home real quick. Yeah, for you that would be a 1 hour out of your day. That would suck.
See, now the worst part is also when it gets cold out and it gets dark early here. Sometimes
Yeah.
sunset here is like 4:30, and I'll leave for the gym around that time, but it's already dark. You're like, oh,
Right.
this sucks. Yeah. So that second session can be rough sometimes. So
I got a couple.
you had some good questions. We only have like 3 minutes because it cuts us off after an hour,
Okay.
and I don't want to keep you so you can stay busy the rest of your day.
So
Um,
big.
but you came up with most of the questions. The one question I had was this hypothetical question that my
Okay.
parents didn't really like so much. But so would you rather? So it's two things you could fight. Would you rather fight 100? No. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses? So 100 horses that are the size of a duck, or would you rather fight one horse-sized duck?
I would rather fight the little
Yes.
horses. Yeah.
Yes.
I would
See.
just try to
Yeah.
kick them as hard as I could. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like for me, it's kind of like, I never get to be the bigger person most of the time in training.
All
So
right.
I want to be the bigger person. I had Bia on a couple weeks ago, and she was like, she wanted to fight the bigger one, the one giant duck.
Right. I mean, because if you
But
could take its back and choke it, you win. That's it. It's over.
I think a lot of jiu-jitsu people think like, well, I trained for the one person, not the 100 things. But that thing is like 2,000 pounds, and it can fly too. Ducks
Right.
can fly,
Right.
So I don't know about that.
And it could probably just fuck you up with its beak, right? It'll just blast you
Yeah.
and like boom. I think with the little horses, man, I would just run around and start punting them like footballs, just kick them.
Yeah.
It'd probably hurt. They'd probably start biting your ankles and calves and your knees, but I just think it'd be super fun to kick all of them, just punch them.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it'd be entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, if they get you to the ground, you're fucked. They would just swarm
Yeah,
on
they
you.
just
A hundred of them. That's a lot. That's a lot of body. If they piled
yeah.
on you all together, that'd be a lot of body mass on top of you.
I mean, either way can go bad in its own ways. But if you were
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
prefer what's the lesser of two evils in that? Yeah, I would have to say the hundred
But if
hundred
the
horses
hundred
as
horses
well.
got you down, I think it would be a more painful death.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Absolutely. It would just it would be a slow, miserable death.
whereas the big
Whereas
monster duck could just knock you out in one swipe,
yeah, yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
good, one
You
beak
just
jab.
you just wouldn't even feel it. That'd be it.
Okay. Okay. Next question. We're running out of time.
I think that's it. We have like that's the only question I was gonna give you.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
yeah.
let me close
Thank
it
you,
with
man.
this. Hey, it's my pleasure,
Okay.
Johnny. I've wanted to catch up with you too, man. Because like you said, we never really have time to do that. I would just like to leave
Oh
a
shit, we got
thought
10
out there.
seconds. Oh no.
Oh, that's it. I'll
Oh
save
no.
it. I'll save it for
Save
next time.
save it for
Guys,
next
thank you
time.
so much for watching.
Let's
Mateus,
do it again.
talk to you on Wednesday.